What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 170. My name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother Nick. As always,
What's up?
it's here, Nick. Zelda is finally here after 4 years of waiting.
It still doesn't feel real.
Does it? Yeah, it still doesn't. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't feel real at all.
Yeah.
So before we do dive into Zelda, we're just gonna kind of preface the episode, and we're going to be talking a majority about Zelda. We're going to talk about the very like the early game part of Zelda. We're going to talk about the Great Plateau. So any spoiler related stuff in the Great Plateau, we're going to talk about. So if you haven't finished that area, please do and come back. And then we're really not that far in the story either, so we really can't spoil anything for you as far as like that what happens in the story.
Right.
So what we're going to do is just talk about some of the things we've seen. Again, it could be spoiler-ish if you have not played the game yet or haven't gotten as far as we have. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, we'll talk about kind of our random encounters and stuff we've seen, and just our overall consensus of the game and how we like it so far. So
Stories from Hyrule, if you will.
yeah. All right, but before we dive into that, Nick, how was your week?
It's pretty good. Dude, just a lot of anticipation, a lot of reading Zelda reviews and impressions and all that stuff. So the week went by pretty fast because work was pretty busy last week, so that was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a good week. It's
Cool.
hard to. Really
Jesse in the chat, he said, "Hey guys, just popping in to say good luck with the stream. The only thing I don't like about the game is how it started. Was it just a little bit like too slow? Because I mean,
That
maybe
I understand that.
Yeah,
There is a lot of like, there's a lot of Zelda like kind of like talking at the beginning, and she'll stop you every 10 seconds. Really,
yeah. Maybe that's what he's saying is like the very beginning. But
Yeah.
I love that stuff. It felt very ominous and like kind of built up to what we
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
was going to happen. So I personally loved it. But yeah, I can understand if it is a little bit slow to get started.
Compared to Breath of the Wild, which takes like 2 minutes to get into it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like 20 minutes versus 2.
Exactly.
So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But
yeah, totally reasonable.
Sorry, Nick. What were you saying? How was your week?
Oh no, it was good. It was good. Watched my wife's sister's dog this weekend.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then had to like deep clean the house before we left. So
is animals ever anything y'all ever thought about getting since y'all moved in?
not really, because she's allergic to dogs.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it makes it a little bit easier to make that decision.
Yeah.
Maybe if she wasn't, we would consider it, but every time we watch an animal for a weekend, we're like, maybe we shouldn't get a dog. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, I think after ours inevitably pass away, I'm gonna lay up on the animals for quite a while. Just
Yeah.
I mean, I love them to death, but like the fur is, especially our German Shepherd Husky, it's so much, dude. Like
It's impossible to
keep up. Like we'll sit there be eating dinner, and I'm like, oh, there's a hair in my food, and just because it was circling around in the air,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the constant cover and hair is a little much. And then like you have to, anytime you ever want to go anywhere, you always have to.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah, think about either boarding him or having someone come and stay. As he's in the background here. But yeah. I mean, if you guys aren't keen on getting one, or I wouldn't.
Yeah. His name is Bane. He's an English bulldog,
which they don't shed, right? They're pretty.
Not really, but he definitely sheds a little bit. I think because he slobbers so much that he will slobber on something and then he'll rub his fur against it, or rub his hair against it, and then it'll kind of like shed that way.
Okay.
But yeah, so he was there Thursday night, so he stayed up with me until midnight.
Nice.
But yeah.
They're good snugglers. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. He's really cute.
Yeah.
How's your week though?
It was good. It was just the anticipation,
Anticipation.
the anticipation of just Zelda. Just trying to stay off online as much as possible so I didn't get things spoiled because the game had leaked and all that stuff, and Nintendo was super cracking down.
Oh yeah.
Banning people on Twitch, submitting strikes and stuff like that. Rightfully so. If I was to get Zelda early somehow, I'm going off the grid, and I'm going to play it, but I'm going off the grid. Yeah. I would text you and be like, "Oh my god, dude,
I got it.
I got it."
I'd be like, "How did you get it? And how can I get it?"
Yeah, I got 2 copies. But yeah, just trying to stay offline as much as possible because it is hard. But and then obviously watching the reviews and stuff, and it just, almost scoring higher than original Breath of the Wild, which is it's really hard for a sequel to surpass the original most of the time.
Yeah.
But all the reviews seemed, just loving the game. It's an absolute improvement. All that stuff, and then just Thursday night watching the Treehouse live for a little bit. I was actually able to right at midnight. I got a notification from the Hotstock app that we've been using to try to get our hands on a collector's edition, and I got on. Pre-ordered one just fine from Walmart, and I was like, you know what? Because I tried to call you after that, but your phone was on silent.
I was on, yeah.
So I was like, well, let me see if I can get on again, and there's another one, I'm just gonna pre-order it, and I was able to get back on and got another one.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. So that one's I've got those 2 that have came, and then Friday morning, or if we just want to talk about launch day, just jump into that. I got up with my son, took him to school, stood outside at line at Target for about 20 minutes, and there was probably about 15 people in line with me that would not look like they were going to be purchasing Zelda, which is cool, right? And then someone in the front made a comment about it, and it was like an older lady, and she was getting it for her son, but as soon as she said that, everyone was like, "Yep, we're in line too." So it was just about 15 people walking straight back to the electronics. The guy's just standing there. He's like, "What can I do for you guys?" He's like, "We're like Zelda."
Zelda.
He's like, "Raise your hand if you want the collector's edition." And we all raised our hand. He's like, "All right, I'll be right back." So he came back with like a cart, and it was like he had like 20 of them. I was like, "Yes."
Dang. So like they just awesome. Had them. They had them in stock.
Yeah. He's like, I'm so surprised we got him, but we got him. And I did ask him though, after I got my copy, I went and just went over to like the game section and was just kind of looking around, and I came back after it was gone. I was like, "Hey, can I buy a second one?" Like I was going to get one for my brother, and he's like, "No, it's one per person." I was like, "Okay, I get that."
Yeah.
And I was just going to cancel the Walmart one, but turns out once I got back in the car to cancel my order, it came in. So I've got an extra copy of the collector's edition. So
I guess a good thing you didn't get another one at Target.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'd be up 4. So I guess I'm just going to take it back to Walmart and hopefully, I'm sure they'll be able to take it back.
Yeah. I feel like Nintendo like stealthily stocked up a bunch for the launch.
Yeah.
Because it was so hard to get beforehand. Yeah. Even when it went up for pre-orders, initially it was almost impossible. But I'm glad they really stocked up for.
Yeah, I figure they would. Same with the Switch models. I think you could still. I think you could still buy those, which is good. I in a world where the scalping it seems like it's kind of starting to dwindle down with as much stuff as Nintendo's putting out product wise. It's good to see that, because if you want it, you should just be able to get it. I shouldn't have to fight on the internet for days to get something. But especially something that's mass produced. It's not there's no statue or anything like that. So
it's pretty. Arguably pretty easy to reproduce. It's just an art book. And what is it? The four pins, and I think they're the 4 abilities you get in the game. Okay. I'm not quite sure. Then you get a steel poster, which is pretty nice. And then I think that's it.
in the game. And the game itself, like the game case, and then you get a steelbook too.
Steelbook, yeah. I love the steelbooks, like the Fire Emblem Engage one.
Yeah, they're super cool. Nice. Yeah, they're really cool looking. So yeah, that's what I did. Then I came back and I had ordered everything else from Best Buy, including the game. So I went back home and started playing it, and I got the text around like 9:45. Hey, your order's ready. I didn't leave the house until like 11. I was just engrossed in the game, and then I went and picked everything else up. So I've got to return the game to Best Buy. And I offered it to my daughter, and I was like, "Hey, do you want this?" She was like, "No, Zelda sucks." I'm like, "You suck," but whatever. So I'm gonna take that back. But yeah, I got me a nice little Zelda fanny pack. Got a nice little like art print from Target and Best Buy, and then the amiibo. The amiibo is like so cool looking. It's probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah,
that they made so far.
It's a really awesome amiibo.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was a great day. I took the day off, of course. Played all day. It was great. Love it.
I might as well have taken the day off because I did the digital midnight release and played probably until 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And then woke up, had breakfast, all that stuff, and then went to work. But I set up my other Switch dock on my desk, so I hooked it up to my monitor. So I had one monitor for work and one for Zelda. So I played that for a reasonable portion of the day, and then at 5 I went to Best Buy and picked up the Pro Controller and the amiibo.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of orders back there.
Oh yeah.
Behind the counter, like.
Yeah, when I went around like 11ish, I got in line. He's like, "You here for Zelda?" I was like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "Cool." He's like, "Yeah, we probably had like 100 people come through the line so far." I was like, "Good God."
That's crazy, man.
And I was like, "And why didn't y'all do a midnight release?" Like, come on. But it is what it is.
Yeah, Best Buy's kind of weird about that because I did actually call GameStop to see if they were doing a midnight release because I was like, hey, like maybe I can get it a little bit early. Like maybe they'll do it at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or something like that. And they were doing a midnight release, but it was one of those things where you go in before they close, like at 8 or 9, and you get your ticket, and then you go back at 10, and then you wait in line until midnight and get it then. So it's, hey buddy.
Yeah, I think us being that's like the unfortunate thing about midnight releases on the East Coast is we actually have to wait until midnight.
It's not like 9 p.m. like it is on
exactly. Yeah,
West Coast.
Because I was watching one of the YouTubers I watch. He lives in Wisconsin. And I think they're what, like an hour behind us, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, he got his at 11, but yeah, I haven't. I was hoping for one because I have not been to a midnight release since Zelda, in the Switch launch, which was huge. But yeah, I was hoping they would do one, but it is what it is. My Best Buy's not the greatest. I don't know. Their stock is always like super low and everything. It's like their game sections is like always a mess, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's I think the only news story I was able to find is Hollow Knight. It was confirmed by their marketing director. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he said the game is not releasing in the first half. So
yeah, I mean that's
like
expected at this point.
Exactly. And quite frank, like good. Like I do not need another 40-hour another 40-hour Metroidvania game to play through. Cuz Zelda's going to be it for a couple months at least, if not more.
This is going to be a really long game. I really want to take my time with Tears.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Just right from the beginning, can we talk about just the white text on the black background?
Dude,
Tears of the Kingdom.
Perfection.
Literally perfect. Like that it gave me chills.
It did. I as soon as
I'm in for it.
Yeah, you just and for those I guess if you're listening and you haven't played it yet, you literally fire the game up and it goes right into it. There's no start new game, nothing. It just goes right into it.
I don't even know what the title screen looks like when you back out of the game.
I do because I did close it out. It's just like a normal title screen. Like I think it's got like the background and stuff. And then obviously you get like a title card, once you actually dive into the world. But yeah, that opening flawless. Like it was so good, so good.
Yeah, the title card was great, and then yeah, you're beneath Hyrule exploring with Zelda, which is super cool. Like you have your maxed out hearts.
You max out hearts, maxed out stamina, and you're like,
Am I about to get?
Am I about to get Metroided?
And sure enough, you do.
But yeah, I mean, I've heard some divisive things online about the beginning. I thought it was great. Like I thought the kind of lore dump we got with all the Zonai stuff was really cool.
Was cool.
Like
it really set it up a lot.
Yeah, and then like just I've never had a problem with like any of the voice acting in Breath of the Wild. But I think they did an even better job in this, and just hearing like the compassion or like the enthusiasm out of Zelda's voice when she discovers the Zonai carvings and the imprisoning war and stuff like that. But yeah, and it was very they kind of briefly talk about the is it the malice? Is that the kind of stuff that's kind of
or the gloom? Is it gloom?
The gloom that's kind of gloom coming up off the floor, and all the slight music touches and stuff like that. Yeah, it's so good. It's such a great.
The music was really ominous.
Yeah, super ominous.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah, a little bit freaky. Yeah, and then next thing you know, you're in the Great Sky Islands, which is like the Great Plateau of the sky.
Well, you want to talk about how like creepy Ganondorf was when you discover him?
Yeah. Oh my, yeah, that was freaky.
Yeah,
he actually looked pretty scary.
He did. And then just like we only got one line from Matt Mercer, but man, he sounded so good.
Oh, he's going off.
And that's like, and it was cool because like he doesn't sound like Ganondorf does, like in that one, in the one trailer where he says, bear witness to the king's the king's return. He has like that kind of.
But the gravitas.
Yeah, like because he's like a mummy at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm really excited to see more of Ganondorf.
Yeah,
that's gonna be super awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, that the whole part was cool, and like the whole instance of him trying to attack Zelda and you block him with your Master Sword and it just comes up your arm and you see all of your life getting taken away.
It shows in the center of the screen. Like that was pretty pretty video gamey in a cool way.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you wake up on the Great Plateau.
Yeah, and
or the Great Skyline. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, did you think you had missed the shirt at the beginning when you opened the chest and you just had the pants? Or did you just go with it?
I just went with it. Is there a shirt?
Well, there is a shirt that you get.
Yeah, I mean, I did. Yeah, I did get that shirt, like the one that's in like the trailer. But I just figured I only saw the one chest, so I was like, okay, well maybe we'll get the shirt, down the road. And they're just giving us our pants now. They don't want to be in his underwear for too long.
We'll just have him shirtless for another hour.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, that first jump into the water,
so good.
And then the real title card, I guess, coming up on screen like that. Oh man, such a moment.
Yeah,
such a freaking moment.
Yeah. And I thought this the Great Sky Island area was just as good as the Great Plateau. It teaches you everything you need to know about Zelda, about the world, and then obviously the acquiring the new abilities, which are super fun to use.
Oh my god, dude, they're so much better than the abilities in Breath of the Wild.
For sure.
Like, I don't miss any of them at all. Like Ultra Hand and Ascend. Like Ascend is just so cool. It's so useful. Like
it's coming to clutch for me so many times now.
Yeah. Like it can really get you like out of a hairy situation if you're exploring a cave and you're like, I just want to leave this cave.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are you can just go up and get out.
Yeah.
And you're good to go. So like, yeah, that the Great Sky Islands, like they really did a good job of letting you experiment with Ultra Hands, with Ascend, with Fuse. Like everyone drops something that you can fuse with. You can fuse with most objects in the world.
Yeah, minecart or a fan or a rocket. I mean, yeah, it's It's so dumb, but I don't know. I'll talk about I want to talk about for one moment is the whole new conversation of like 30 FPS and 60 FPS and this whole like fidelity, and everybody wants everything to look so damn good. And while yes, I mean, like, would we want like Nintendo to be in 4K? Sure, why not? Would we want it to run in 60 frames per second? Sure, why not? But with Nintendo and Zelda, like they just make it a game. Like it feels like a really fun video game where they're actually stepping up the way that they're having these creation tools and stuff like that, and allow you to mess around in their world, versus, you know, other games where, yeah, it looks beautiful and there's combat and stuff, but that's kind of it. It's pretty light,
pretty shallow,
pretty shallow when it comes to like gameplay. And with this, it's just, it feels like, I don't know. It just feels really good to like being able to be in that world and just kind of
like
have your own creations come to life. Like
even when the frames drop when I'm in Ultra Hand, sometimes like I don't care, because like I'm focused on creating something stupid or something cool, and like that's what's exciting to me. Smooth frames doesn't. That's not what makes me excited about a game. It's the gameplay that makes me excited. And rough frame rate can ruin a game, like that
for sure
that should be said, but it's not the end all be all of a good game. Like, people keep making the argument about Redfall, like, oh my god, well, if you complain about Redfall, why aren't you complaining about Tears of the Kingdom? It's like Redfall
sucks even if it was ran at 60. It's not a fun video game.
Exactly. And like Tears of the Kingdom, like, yes, it would objectively be better if it ran at 60, but it wouldn't change how good of a game it was mechanically.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's important in this conversation, is that Tears of the Kingdom is a really good game.
Yeah. And I don't know when this whole conversation started, like when it really took off, and maybe it was at the beginning of this generation. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, especially on consoles and stuff, like it's never been like the talk. It's always been, okay, how good is the gameplay? You know, obviously, like you said, if it has like some crazy dips like into like the teens, and yeah, like that sucks, and that can ruin a good experience. But I mean, gosh, I mean, I genuinely feel bad for people that just focus on frames and that's it. Like, I'm sorry, I'd much rather play a game that's like either locked at 30 or, you know, maybe hits the 20 sometimes and has all these amazing gameplay mechanics versus just playing like your standard adventure, you know, very linear adventure game with combat.
Right.
Like there's so much depth. Combat, yeah, there's just so much depth to this game. But that's all I want to say about that.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
But yeah, I mean, just the way they kind of like feed the new abilities to you and let you, you know, get accustomed to them as much as you can. And like, dude, maybe jumping ahead a little bit, but the shrines are so much better in this game.
Oh yeah, they're a lot better.
I feel like most of the time, like the other shrines in Breath of the Wild was just like, okay, get this ball to this area, and you have to either use like the gyroscope to move around a platform or something like that. Where this one, I mean, it's, you know, there's so many different variants of, especially with like how you know, you get this ball from this one area, but then you have to get up there. You have to build something to not let you fall off the rail. You know, there's a bunch of different ways you can do that. So yeah, it's very cool.
I get so excited every time the game wants me to build a plane. Please please give me all the parts for this plane and let me just take off, man. That part of the tutorial islands.
Yeah.
Like near the end when you're going back to
when you first get the ability to use the plane.
Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and you just take it and you just glide.
Yeah.
That's
super cool.
So perfect. Like I've seen some videos of people like chaining, like they would grab other planes with Ultra Hand and take off with one plane, and then once that plane stopped working, they would like attach it and jump over to it. It's
Oh
like
wow.
there's so many cool things that you can do
Yeah.
when you're flying around the sky. Like even, I mean, on the ground, obviously we've seen some pretty crazy creations so far,
Yeah.
some pretty phallic creations, which is so fun. Like of course people go to that, and then the crucifixion of
Oh my
the
god, the core,
Koroks
like,
is
dude, the
so fun.
Koroks are like just.
Oh, I right before we started, I saw a video of it was Link on a horse, and there was like a carriage, and on the carriage was the
The
cross with the
cross.
Korok,
Yeah.
and the blood moon was rising
Oh my gosh.
as he was riding him along.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's so many, like, I spent when I went to the depths, and we'll talk about the depths in a second, but uh I gone there from the Great Plateau, or yeah, from the Great Plateau area, and it landed me there, and it was just like a bunch of like different stuff I could use to build something. And there was like the gloom and stuff all over the ground around me. So I spent like 30 minutes trying to figure out how to build like a vehicle. And there was like these two spiky things, and I thought at first maybe that's supposed to be like the what's the term, not the rotors, but I thought they were supposed to be used to like be able to turn the vehicle, but you
Okay.
actually just attach one piece from the wheel itself to like the block, and it'll be able to turn with like the little handle you get. But I spent
Right,
like
right.
30 minutes just creating a vehicle. I put spikes and stuff on the wheel, and then I just took off, and it was super awesome. But yeah, it's just there's the creation of this game is insane. It's just mind blowing. It's like you
Yeah,
go into a puzzle and you're like, can I do it this way? Yes, you
you
can.
can. You
Like that's
can.
like
If you
the
think you
theme of the
can.
game.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff like that I'm just like getting used to with Ultra Hand. Like
Hmm.
I don't know, just trying to find different ways to create a moving vehicle is super cool. Like trying to create like a two-wheeled vehicle, or trying to create like a really small, nimble flying machine, and just like
Yeah,
experimenting with that and just going like, oh, just like flying left and right because you built it poorly, or you built it with
yeah,
one thing that's slightly offset, and it just sends you in one direction. But like that part of it, like that trial and error, it's pretty intuitive and it's really fun. Like it doesn't feel tedious. Like well, we both of us now have like the auto build. I don't
yeah.
really use it that much.
Well, because you need like certain like zonai.
Well, you only need those pieces if you don't have all of the parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if
Well,
you're
are you sure? Because like I've got the I got the schematic for the like the flying, the flyer with, and it's got the three fans on it.
yeah,
But I tried to like auto build it, and it wouldn't do it. It said I needed like 12 of like these zonai pieces. But I had
you
all
just
this
need to
stuff.
take it all out of your inventory and put it on the ground,
Oh, gotcha.
and
Okay.
then that'll do it without.
Oh, okay. I thought it just did it all. Okay, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like the auto build stuff. Like as soon as I got that, I was like, dude, that's so cool. You could just be around pieces and be like, okay, this is what I want to make. That's something that's like generally standard. And then you can also like, if you make something really cool, it'll be saved into your like history, and you can
And
like
you
favorite it
favorite
and
it.
stuff like that. So they thought of everything, man. Like there's just so many, and that's just, I mean, we barely even scratched the surface of what we can
Oh
do.
yeah.
And because like I haven't even gotten the ability to use all, or found where I can use all that stuff that I know that's in the game, and stuff that maybe that I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah.
So does that mean that so if you got auto build, that means you fought that boss?
Yes, very cool boss fight.
Yeah, very,
Kel-
very dumb.
Kellen was watching me play, and he was really enjoying watching that fight. But yeah, I just, you use, I won't spoil anything, but yeah, you get to use the recall ability a couple times on him.
Yep.
Um, and then yeah, that was such a dumb fight, but it was very
It's just
yeah,
very fun. It was,
yeah.
it was just a fun time.
And then did you go after that area, and
Mhm.
that person takes off in one direction? Did you go immediately, I think, to the left, where there's like another like little hideout area, and there's like the people flying around. There's one flying around, and there's like one on a car going around the area, and then there's one in the middle that's got like a motorcycle that you can get the schematic for. Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay,
I don't think so.
okay.
Have you gone underneath that area?
No, no, I didn't.
Okay, that was the quest I was talking about. But yeah, you
Under,
should go underneath.
underneath the area where you get the auto build.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was
yeah.
a area underneath.
It opens up like a whole, pretty much a whole. I don't know if I want to like. It gives you a use for an item that you find in the depths.
Oh, okay, cool.
Really. Yeah. Um. Yeah. The freaking depths. Oh my
Yeah,
God! Like it's like the same. It feels like the same depth as the Sky Islands are high.
yeah. It's
And I don't know.
huge.
I don't know how Nintendo did that, man. I don't know how that works.
And that's
Maybe.
where like people like that, and that's where again like the whole $70 DLC conversation is completely out the window because and I'm so surprised that this stuff didn't like leak or like they kept it so close to their chest because they were just focusing on okay, you're going to the sky and that's it. But
Mhm.
no, there's there just for context for people that don't know, the depths is the entire map of Hyrule underground,
Yeah.
and it's completely like for the most part like complete darkness, and you have to there's like these little like ceiling things that you have to go find to kind of activate the light around it, but then it's still dark everywhere, and you have to use these like glowing plants to kind of light your way and stuff. But dude,
Yeah.
this game is huge, man. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous how large it is, and like I have all these like treasure map markings
Yeah,
down in the depths that I want to go find, but it just it's so big that it takes me a long time to even
yeah,
make any headway towards the next. Do you want to switch over real
yeah.
quick?
Let's go ahead and switch real quick.
Okay. I am I'm curious if there's a way to get out of the depths,
Hmm.
either from the way you came in or another way. Because I'm wondering, like, maybe that's how they did it with the development. Is like once you go through the depths, it like unrenders the world above. Because like the only way to get out, as far as I know, is just to fast travel.
Yeah, there was one area or one part of the depth that I jumped down into. I can't remember where, but when I landed, there was a construction for a hot air balloon, and if you had like
The flame emitter.
yeah, well, I did have the flame emitter, but I think the hot air balloon ended up getting destroyed because it took too long to get up. So that's a good question. Maybe
Maybe
you
if you had enough battery,
can't.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know because the hot air balloon doesn't require a battery. It's just well, I guess it does, but
I mean, it
it ended
requires like
up
your own charge,
yeah, but I ended up getting to a point where the tarp material or whatever burned out. Like it got destroyed, and then I just fell down in the basket. So I don't know.
Oh,
That may be a good question. That may be
I'm sure someone will try to break it.
yeah that maybe how they can do it. I'm not quite sure. But
Yeah. But either way, the depths are
yeah,
very cool.
yeah, I've explored maybe like 1% of it.
Yeah.
It's just massive. It's crazy.
I did today. I fought a familiar, difficult creature from Breath of the Wild, except he had like gloom armor that you had to knock off.
What would you
That
fight?
was
We can talk about it.
I fought a Lionel.
A Lionel, okay. I was wondering if they
Yeah.
were in the game or not.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
figured they
fought
probably
one.
were, but
I saw. Yeah, I found one in the overworld that immediately killed me, and then I actually fought the one down in the depths, and that one had like the armor on
yeah.
that you
Oh
had to
wow,
knock off. But
that's
it
pretty
was
cool.
yeah. It aside from that, like it operated exactly how the Lionels in Breath of the Wild did.
Yeah,
Same combat mechanics there.
cool.
Uh,
Have you fought
but
a
yeah,
Gleeok yet? The three-headed dragon thing,
I attempted one like pretty early on.
the one on the bridge, the fire one that's in the trailers.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah. I
tried
just got
that one and it
lost.
immediately burned me up, and I was like,
Yeah,
I'm not ready for this.
I tried to build um like a cart that had like the beam emitter,
Yeah,
like the beam thing. And I tried to send that first, and it just did nothing to him. So
that's crazy.
yeah, maybe I'll try one again soon now that I have a couple more hearts and
Yeah, I think I'm up to like six now, 6 hearts, and I think I think I upgraded my stamina once or twice, something like that. I think just once.
have you upgraded your energy cells any yet?
No, I have not. Not from what you've been given.
Okay. Yeah, I have another like full cell now at this point. It helps a lot.
Oh yeah, those battery packs are super cool.
Yeah.
Have you done any of the labyrinth stuff yet?
No, I haven't. I did
Okay.
one of like the spheres in the sky.
Yeah.
Did do one of those.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. And then yeah, I haven't done the labyrinth yet, but I've done a few variations of like the and I don't know if there's one in every region, but it's the area in the sky where you have to deliver one of the green
Yeah, I did that one
line
too. Yeah, I did one of
things.
those. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done a couple of those so far.
Okay. Sweet.
And they're all pretty cool. Like some of them you literally have to build a flying machine to get it
Yeah.
like from A to B, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I did one labyrinth. It was on the ground. Um,
Oh, okay. So there is some on the ground.
yeah,
Cool.
there was one on the ground that you find. But yeah, I found a labyrinth on the ground. And there was like a bunch of gloom like in it, and there was like
Mhm.
a note from like an explorer that he's like, if you follow this trail of pine cones, it'll lead you to the center, and then you
Okay.
do. And it turns out it's just like a shrine that's in there. So I did the shrine and whatever. And then
Okay.
it's like it said it unlocked a door in the sky, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then there was another labyrinth directly above it in the sky that I ended up finding, completed it, and it was like a really cool. Um, you had to use like the paraglider and kind of find
Mhm.
these four different switches and activate it, and then you go to the very top of the labyrinth, and then you have to dive down, and the way they line it is you dive from the top of the sky labyrinth, and you go straight through the other labyrinth, and it takes you down into the depths.
Oh,
And then
shut up.
there's like a boss fight that was a little bit too strong for me at the time, so I stopped there. But it was part of like a quest or whatever. But super cool
You
way
did.
they do that.
Do you know what area that was in?
The Hebrew region, maybe,
Okay.
is that right?
Hebra?
Hebrew region. I think it was the Hebrew region. I think.
Okay. Yeah, let's go check that out. Yeah,
But
I've just
yeah,
been bopping around to different
that's what I've been
diving
doing.
towers. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, you plan a route from A to B and you just get sidetracked by everything. And it's awesome because like
Yeah,
it's nothing that appears on your map. You know, it's nothing that's like, oh, hey, you should go over here. It's like, oh, you see that?
yeah. And
Go
they
to
and
the
they,
go
I
onto
mean,
the
they had in
map.
Breath of the Wild, but just like the whole map system. There's nothing other than just like your designated markers, like to tell you where to go for the quest. There's nothing on there, which I love. So it's up to you to kind of clutter up your map, whether
Yeah.
it's you've got you pinpoint. Because typically with me, like if I see any shrines, I'll use the pinpoints and put those in, and then if I come across a Korok or something else, like I'll say, okay, this I want the leaf thing to be the Korok, and that's what I'm going to use going forward. And then if I can't figure out the
Okay.
puzzle or something, I'll come back to it, or maybe I see it in the distance and I don't really feel like going over there. I'll mark it with something. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. It's
It's awesome.
yeah,
And like even the routine quests, like the Korok quests of getting them to a certain destination, or the guy with the signpost that
yep,
keeps falling down.
yeah,
Like that stuff is just so fun because it's making it's making you use your abilities in creative ways.
yep,
And it puts at least the Korok quest puts such an emphasis on traversal,
yep.
which was like a really big part of Breath of the Wild, but in this game, like it's just expanded on so much that there's a million different ways to do one thing.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, I think there was a couple times where I just carried the Korok
yeah,
yeah.
and
There
that's an
wasn't
option
there
too.
wasn't anything around really for me to use, so I was like, I'll just
Mhm.
carry him, and it takes a little bit longer, but it worked. So
Yeah,
yeah, just a huge emphasis on traversal and just being able to create and
whatever you want.
yeah, create whatever you want, and yeah,
Yeah, and the way it handles the Zonai materials is pretty cool too. Like
yeah,
each of the little gotcha machines has like 4 different types of
Yeah.
Zonai devices that come out of it. So, if you do want like a fan, you know to go to a specific
Yeah.
machine and get it from there, and you get those Zonai charges from like the little
Soldier constructs and stuff.
soldier constructs and that kind of stuff. So it's a good cycle of like
Yeah.
do combat, get the Zonite charges, or use your Zonite and buy Zonite charges and
Yeah.
then use those to get new materials. So like it's plentiful.
I guess like the only gripe I have with that mechanic, and also I guess the cooking mechanic too, and I think it was the same way in Breath of the Wild. I wish like once you were there, I wish you could just press A and just go into your inventory and let it roll instead of having to go into your inventory, hold it, which you can only hold 5 at a time, and then go back out and put them into the either the cooking pot or into the gotcha thing. Like I feel like it could be a little bit more streamlined if they just allowed you to just do them all at once. But I mean, very very small, right?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like my biggest complaint so far is that I feel like they could have streamlined the cooking a little bit more than just adding recipes.
Yeah.
Because like I'm at the point now where I'll just spend 10 minutes just cooking a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to keep on cooking. Like, keep on cooking every 15 or 20 minutes when I find like a little cook site.
Yeah.
Site.
Which I mean, have you gotten the cooking pot for the Zonai? Like where you can just put one out?
Yeah, I have it, but it's only one use, right?
Yeah, one use, but you don't have to do anything. It's just you strike it and it turns it on.
Okay. I haven't used it yet.
Yeah. I've only used it I think once or twice.
Okay. Yeah, it's cool that it exists.
Yeah.
It would probably be good in a pinch, like if you're, in a very cold region or something, and you needed to, to make some sort of elixir or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I spent all this time in this game, and I feel like I've barely even touched the surface of like the story stuff. Yeah. I haven't. Like I just now got to the Rito village, and that's like
okay. So you're doing Rito first.
Yeah, that's the first one that I've gone to since meeting up with Impa and her telling you where to go.
Did she tell you to go to Rito first? Or did she point you in that direction? I can't remember.
I think the quest does. Like I think it tells you there's something else that, or maybe Zelda was spotted, at the Rito thing or something like that. So I just ended up going there first. But excited to kind of dive into the actual like story content of the game. But it's been so much fun just messing around with everything.
It's been a blast. It's been a blast just discovering new things, discovering caves.
Yeah. And I haven't played Breath of the Wild really since 2017, so it all feels like really brand new to me. But going back to the places that I remembered is really cool. Going back to the Great Plateau and going back to the Shrine of Resurrection and stuff like that, where it all started. It's really
awesome.
Cool. Maybe someone wouldn't feel that same way if they've been playing, pretty consistently over the last 6 years or so. But it feels really good to come back to.
Yeah, like other than the big locations like the Dueling Peaks and Death Mountain, things like that. Like for me, it might as well be a new map.
Yeah,
because a lot of it is pretty unfamiliar.
Yeah,
because it's been so long since I played it. Like there's enough reshuffling of the areas that it does feel extremely fresh, and then that along with the depths and the Sky Islands, like this game is easily 3 times as big.
Yeah, and I really haven't even been to the Sky Islands that much since leaving.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked about it yet, but like the Skyview Towers is like a super cool, like epic little thing you get to do where you go to it's like the new Sheikah Towers. You go in and you get like thrown up into the air, and Link automatically scans the area with his Pura pad. So you get like a side of the land, and then you get the freedom to let go and go where you want. You know, if you see something on the map or something you want to go to, you could head that way.
Yeah. I mean,
Have
chances
you?
are,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, chances are when you launch up, you're gonna find a sky island like pretty close
Yeah,
to
yeah,
your
yeah,
vicinity, which is cool.
yeah. They're usually pretty close.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Have you done any of the hieroglyph stuff yet to see any
Mm.
of the
Yeah,
Zelda's
yeah.
memories?
I've done three so far.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cutscenes are great, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, this is like the game's or this game's versions of like the memories that you find.
yeah.
Um, I think they're a bit cooler. I think
I
they're
think so. Yeah.
a bit more interesting than the memories. Just because like uh,
Well, it's just because
actually
it's
that's
it's your
inflammatory, but
Zelda. Yeah, I mean yeah, it's I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's your, you know,
it's like relatively recent, right? It's
yeah.
not years and years in the past.
Yeah, it's not 100 years in the past, so where like
Yeah,
everybody in the scene is dead or something like that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. So it
Um,
feels more like a cutscene
yeah,
than those did.
but it's pretty cool. I'm
Mhm,
enjoying those so far. I think I've done like 3 or 4 now.
mhm.
But yeah, it's just I'm so excited to see what's in store for us with just the you know the main story alone and all the cool stuff that there is. Like I know there's monster
Yeah.
raids and stuff like that from the Treehouse event.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm super excited. I finally found a rocket and attached it to my shield and shot up in the air.
Oh, dude, it's epic.
Super
So
awesome.
cool.
I After I did the that fight in the depths, and I was going on over to the little hideout area.
Hmm.
There was like one of those spring Zonai pieces, so I attached it to my shield and I was like, "Kellen, look at this!" And I jumped up in the air and boinged up, and
Wait, how did you like go on like you did the shield surf thing?
yeah, you could do that. Yeah,
I didn't know you could do that.
yeah, you do the shield surf thing. He jumps down, and it gets sprung up in the air, and then it gets destroyed, and then it's just your shield. But it's like, you know, it's like an extra little boost you get to jump.
That's cool.
Yeah. Have you done the minecart thing where you get to like surf on the minecart?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not
Okay.
I didn't do the Minecraft. I just did like the regular like Zonai cart.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's just, yeah,
Yeah.
same thing. I think
Same thing.
'cause
Yeah.
I've been using that for traversal
Yeah.
a
Super cool.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can like the fact that you can grind on the minecart rails
Yep.
is so awesome. Like
Yeah.
they really thought of everything
Yeah.
for this game and just thought of like, hey, how can I make this part of the game fun? You know?
And again, that's what we were talking about earlier. It's just fun. It's dumb fun, and like, you know, it's not trying to be anything that it's not. It's just,
Mhm.
here's a bunch of awesome tools, and if you think up an idea, you could probably do it. You know,
Yeah.
it may not be as intended, you know, but hey,
I mean I've done some shrines, probably not the way you should at
yeah,
this
yeah.
point.
There's been quite a few that I've done that I did not do.
Have you come across the fire and ice shrine?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did that one. Yep.
Okay, how did you do that one?
Okay, so that's the one where there's like the you go into the immediately to the right. There's like the fire coming down, and there's like an ice block right to the left.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So I took that ice block, put it in the fire so it can go small enough to unlock the door, because you have to put it like on that little pressure plate. Are we on the
There was
same?
a,
Is
and
there?
then wait, on the other side, is there another box that gets caught on fire? You need to put that one in the water to prevent it from burning. Like
Uh,
when you walked in, there's like,
there may be another fire and ice shrine then, because I think,
okay,
yeah, the
okay,
one I'm talking about I think is a little bit different. This one there was no water.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. This one
Okay.
had
Yeah, I
sort
mean,
of
just the
ice
shrines are
blocks.
so much better in this game. They're all just super fun.
Yeah, there's not like your standard like combat shrines anymore. I mean, there are some like tutorial shrines,
I've come
but
across a couple of combat ones now,
like ones that
but they
like
did
teach
but they
you,
did they did feel like tutorials. Like
yeah, like
one
here's
was
how to
one
shoot
was
an
showing me how,
arrow.
yeah, one was showing me how to throw
Mhm.
weapons. There was one combat shrine that I found that it stripped me away of all my weapons and stuff.
Yeah,
and I had to just use what I could find.
Was that the one in the dark?
No, that was a different one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's more than one of those, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's just so much variety. Like, yeah, I think my favorite ones so far are the ones where you've got to grind on the rails with like platforms and make your way, because you can do those kind of differently. But
Oh, for sure.
like there was one where it was a ball one, but you have to get up to the ball, and there was this 2-piece grind rail that went up. So I was like, well, how do you get up there? So what I did was make a platform. I used Ultra Hand and pushed it all the way to the top, let it slide down, then used Recall, got on it, and then it took me to the top. Like,
dude, Recall is like a sneaky good ability.
it really is. Yeah, it's super cool. Because like, and if you didn't know this either, if you've got the wing, and you don't have a way to launch it off a platform, what you can do is you take Ultra Hand, put it up in the air, bring it back down, and after you've put your fans and stuff on there, jump on Recall, so that way you're up in the air, you hit stop, and then your fans will shoot you off.
Huh.
So
okay.
That way you're up in the air, and it gives you don't necessarily have the momentum, but as soon as if you strike the fans and then hit stop on the recall, you'll be up in the air floating, and the fans will activate, and it'll give you the momentum to get off the edge.
Wow, that's genius.
Yeah, super cool.
I never thought about that.
Super cool.
I struggled with a couple of those in the Sky Island, just trying to get it to work without having a launch pad.
Yeah. Huh. And then once you get like the handle, like the steering handle, whatever, like that's super cool and fun to use.
That opens up a lot of stuff too.
Yeah. Which I haven't found a gacha machine that has those to get, so I don't know if you can. I'm sure you can, but I haven't gotten one yet. Okay.
I think I found one.
Okay, I haven't got one yet, but yeah, it's crazy, dude. I can't wait to just keep exploring and doing crazy stuff, and just all the TikToks that I've seen. Like this one guy, he made, of course, he made a dick and balls, and he was fighting a Hinox. And what he would do is he would use Ultra Hand, and he would float it around the Hinox, as it's coming towards him, and then recall it, and it was just the dick smacking him in the face.
And then the death blow was like kind of like the dick ball's like
it's like a penetration. Dude, it's, oh my gosh, man, it's exactly what I wanted out of just social media. It's just seeing all the hilarious stuff.
Oh man, it's perfect. It's such a good time.
Oh, dude.
Such stupidity that can come out of this game. Like, I cannot wait to see what people are doing with this a year from now. Like, what they're building. I saw someone build a 3-phase like rocket launch, like a literal rocket launch where like it launches, a piece separates, another piece launches, separates, and then it like ended with Link doing the shield rocket. Up in the air.
That's so epic, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, dude, the one TikTok you did was like, dude, I was just like, oh my, I was getting so like, I'm nervous, but like antsy the entire. I was like, oh my god, he's like keeps twirling around. Talking about yours, like the wing, whatever. And then you ended up like making it or whatever. But I was like, oh my god, dude, this game is insane. And I'm so excited to see how high you can go. Once you get deeper into the game, like. How high, like what's the limit? Like is there like a top, island that you have to get to? Is that like the end game? What is it, right? And then I've seen people make giant bridges to already get to Gandor to the Hyrule Castle, whatever. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Can you not just dive?
I guess you can. I guess you can. Yeah, you probably could. I haven't tried, but.
Yeah, I haven't tried going there aside from the first story mission.
Yeah.
But have you done the diving challenge up in the air? It's like there's like big like circular structures that are kind of like disconnected in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Go check one of those out because you can get some pretty cool like armor and gear.
Is that the one with like the lasers and stuff?
There might be a variation.
Okay.
With those,
I saw that in the trailer, but I think that might be an entrance to a dungeon. But
yeah,
Yeah, dude, this game is crazy. Like
There's
it's
there's so much like it's crazy that we've both played as much as we have so far, and like
there's
we're
different stuff.
yeah, it's like a completely different
I
experience.
mean, because I've only unlocked like maybe 4, maybe 5 Skyview towers. So I mean, there's still a lot of
Mhm.
areas that I haven't you know done yet or even been to.
Yeah,
So
like I
yeah,
haven't.
this game is huge. I mean, I'm already loving it more than Breath of the Wild, which is insane to
Yeah,
think about. But yeah, I mean, it really makes Breath of the Wild feel like a tech demo.
yeah, like there's really no reason to go back to Breath of the Wild after
Yeah.
this, unless you really miss the cryosis mechanic, or you really miss
Well, see, I,
stasis.
I didn't really love all that stuff either. Like the bomb, like having like the bomb was pretty cool, but like the ice block and stuff, like I didn't necessarily love it. I didn't love that one.
It was more of like a
Um,
utility thing
yeah, like
than a
I did like
fun
Rivali's
tool.
Gale, being able to like launch you up like that. That was pretty cool. And then
Mhm.
Urabosa's Fury with like the lightning and stuff, like that was a pretty cool power. But yeah,
Yeah,
all,
man,
all,
are we
all
gonna
this
start
stuff just
hating on
feels
Breath of the Wild
right.
now?
all the abilities just feel like I'm using them all the time. Where when in Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild, I didn't use them all the time. You know,
you use them when you had to, or
yeah, and,
when you're
and they
in the
all had they all
shrine.
had cooldowns and stuff like this. You can just use
Yeah, it's true.
as much as you want, and like and to be honest, like the fuse, like I've probably used that one the least. Just it's like sometimes I'll forget about it. Like I'll forget like
Mhm.
because I'll go to pick up a weapon, and I'm like, oh, my inventory is full, so I'll just like leave it alone. But then I'm like, wait, let me just fuse it with something.
Yeah, like that one's a little bit more so utility. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going into a big boss. I'm going to pull out these monster parts that I've accumulated, and I'm gonna fuse them with a couple of
Well, see,
weapons,
I
and
don't
I'll
think
have
I don't think
have
I've I don't
points.
think I've used anything with the monster part yet. Um,
Like any of the like monster horns or anything like that. Hinox.
I don't think so. So you just
No,
drop it on the ground and then fuse it.
yeah.
Okay. Does it like
Like any of
change?
the. I mean,
Does it like does it physically look any different, or does it just add like a buff?
yeah, it physically looks different,
Okay.
I'd say.
Okay. I mean, I've used like the bow and arrow, like using stuff like that. Like I've used it. That's pretty cool. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good like fuse combinations with the
Okay.
monster parts. You probably have a ton in
Yeah.
your inventory that you can use.
Yeah. I'm sure I do. But yeah, the
Yeah.
game the game just feels fun to play. I mean, it does take a little bit to get used to everything because like every
Mhm.
single button on that controller is being used
All
in
they
at
need,
least two
man.
different ways. And
Yeah.
there's been times where I'm still playing and like I'm like trying to switch to another weapon. I'm like crap. Like what is the okay? Here's the button. So it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of different combinations you're clicking and stuff. But
Mhm.
man, it just
But once it clicks,
yeah, once it clicks, like it's
it feels incredible.
yeah, it feels so good. So
And did you know that when you're in Ultra Hand, you can reset the axis? I just
yeah,
found this out
yeah, you
yesterday,
hold
but
like R or whatever.
yeah, like ZL, I think ZL's it's like reset it.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually pretty
Like if
handy.
like if it gets off axis and you're like, how do I get it back to 90 degrees or
Yeah.
180? Like you can just press ZL and
Oh, okay.
it'll like lock it to the nearest 90 degree or 40, yeah, 90
Gotcha.
degree turn.
Okay. Yeah, there's been a couple times where it's like kind of crooked, and I'm like,
Like, how
I'm
do
trying
I?
to spin it to the right spot, but then I'm like, let me just drop it, let it fall flat, and then I'll pick it up again. That's
Yeah,
but that's good to know. That's a good tip. Good tip.
yeah. A lot of they thought of everything, man.
Yeah.
Look,
That
oh
$70
man.
DLC thought of everything.
And oh my God, today I built this four-wheeled machine, and this is down the depths because I was just
Yeah.
going around collecting the Poe droplets,
Yeah.
and I put uh it was like a Zonai homing machine that'll home in on enemies, and then I put the beam on top of that so it would like lock onto enemies and shoot them, and I would just drive around drive around these encampments and
Yeah.
just let my car just
That's so
unleash
cool.
fury. And then there's this other Zonai device that you set it on the ground, and you put like a flamethrower or something on top of it,
Yeah.
and you hit it, and it'll just go towards the nearest enemy
Oh my
and it'll
gosh.
attack those. So like there's like such cool stuff of like
That's
you
so
can
awesome.
basically create like a little army and raid a camp with all your Zonai devices.
That's
It's
crazy.
so cool.
Ugh. Did you see the one TikTok of like the guy who's like when it's like something like Hyrule needs saving or something like that from Ganondorf, but I'm a trucker and I've got to deliver this wood or something. He made like a freaking like a big wheel truck and like put a bunch of trees in the back and was driving around. It's like my God, dude.
Oh man,
Ugh.
I've had some pretty dumb moments where I've like set my car on fire accidentally,
Yeah.
or just broke it from hitting it. Like immediately broke it after spending 5 minutes building something like
And,
somewhat
and
sophisticated.
one more gripe I have with the building is there's been a couple of times where, especially like in the sky, where I've built like a wing, like a flying thing, saved the
Hmm.
game, and then used said flying machine, and it broke or something happened, and I reloaded it, and it doesn't save what you created. It like
Oh, it doesn't.
yeah, it'll put you back where you were when you saved, but your creation will be gone. So that's kind of a
Okay.
bummer. So like, yeah, if you go in expecting this piece to be saved, it won't be. Now, granted, if you, I guess if you have the histories, maybe that helps with that, but it won't be constructed when you reload your save, which kind of sucks.
I did notice that because I built like a trap cage and I sent it down a hill and I went to go do something else and I came back and it was gone.
Yeah.
I think if you're too far away from your build, then it might disappear.
Okay.
And that's probably just like a system memory cache thing.
Yeah, probably.
Because like if you had a bunch of those lying around in the world, it would probably overload the game.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
I'm sure.
I'm assuming that's why. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's like you can kind of see the limitations of the system a little bit,
Yeah.
but I haven't run into any limitations on what I can build or how many pieces I can put on something, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like it seems like that part is like it doesn't have a barrier
Yeah.
at all, which is, I mean, we've seen the results of a lack of a barrier already with the super long logs and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm just blown away by this game.
Yeah,
we already knew it was going to be amazing. I mean, I don't know why anybody ever had a doubt. I mean, the sequel to one of the greatest games of all time, and they're adding these incredible crafting mechanics. There should be no shadow of a doubt, but there was for people. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm just blown away. I mean, I even think the game looks great. I mean, it's got some texture issues on some parts, but like I think it looks beautiful.
I think it looks better than Breath of the
Oh
Wild.
yeah, it does. It does. It's definitely sharper. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and especially like when you're like in the green fields and stuff, like it just the color really pops.
and the Sky Islands too. Like
Yeah,
the golden grass looks really good.
yeah,
Like I can see why they went with that because it's just
yeah,
such a pretty color.
yeah. I'm just again just blown away by it and like all the creativity and just if you can dream it, you can do it.
And like if anyone's worried about like oh like I'm not creative enough for this game or it's gonna harp on creative mechanics too much, like the game presents to you the tools
Yeah,
to build whatever you need to build. It'll
yeah,
make it very abundantly obvious that you need to build this thing. So like it's not like you're having to rack your brain of like, oh, like what could I possibly build to get me from A to B?
yeah,
It's laying out right there.
yeah,
It's
yeah. All the parts are laying out. Like
yeah.
you can any of the shrines like you can like those make you think a little bit. A
Hmm.
lot of them are pretty. A lot of them, the ones that I've come across are pretty basic, and that's understanding. It just kind of teaches you the mechanics, but I don't know. But just what you can create is and that those like endless possibilities is what really excites me for all that stuff. So and just seeing what other people create because I'm not the most creative person in the world, and I've seen some crazy stuff already that I wouldn't have thought of, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And you can.
It's really just inspiring us to try more things, like seeing other people do like these
Yeah.
These crazy machines and crazy creations.
Yeah, I mean, a game where I can spend like an hour just putting together one piece of, like crafting one vehicle or something. Like I love that stuff.
Yeah, and you're doing it for no other reason than it just being fun to do.
Yeah, but like, can this work? Can I construct this together, and make it work? And you probably can.
Yeah, really. Like I haven't been told no by the game yet.
Yeah,
And I think that's really cool.
like I saw one that was like kind of messed up, but it was someone had made like a pretty standard like flying vehicle, but he attached the Korok to it, and he took it up into the air, and he jumped off, and he's like, Korok's hitting Tower 1, and it smashes.
Oh God.
I was like, oh my God, like what is up with these people and like wanting to just murder the like. And you're granted, you can't kill the Koroks, but they react to you hitting them, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, just like they did in Breath of the Wild, but it's funnier now that
you can launch them.
You can send them just as far as you want.
And then like always, every time I pick up a rock and there's a Korok underneath it, I just chuck it at him. He's like, ouch.
Yeah,
super fun.
So someone made a rotisserie.
I did see that.
6 Koroks on it.
Oh my God.
How did you get that many Koroks in one area?
Exactly. Like maybe there's like yeah, I don't know.
There's like a Korok city or something.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap up the Zelda talk and the show. We'll be back next week with more Zelda talk. Just be ready for more Zelda talk and less. Well, we'll see about next week. We're not sure yet.
Yeah,
because you'll be in Vietnam, but
yeah, maybe if we don't do it next. Well, I guess you can always do it first. I can send you some thoughts if you want to like talk about dungeons or anything like that.
Yeah, we'll see. We may take next week off. It just depends. We'll see, but definitely if not next week, the week after, which we'll have tons to talk about then.
Right.
But yeah, we'll kind of the way we did with Elden Ring, because Elden Ring is obviously a different game, but similar in structure where it's just freedom to explore. So we're gonna take it on that way where we'll we talked about early game stuff this week. Next time we have a show. Be kind of like middle game stuff, maybe, even if we're even at that part yet. But we'll talk about more deeper story stuff if we want to and bring it up. So just keep that in mind when you guys listen. But yeah, just gonna talk about our adventures and what we've been doing.
I mean, that was the fun part about Elden Ring. Is, swapping stories.
Yeah, I've found this cave and fought this crazy monster, or found this really cool piece of armor or sword or something like that. So yeah. That's pretty much what we'll be doing with this.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like after playing Elden Ring, I was like, man, going back to Breath of the Wild is gonna be weird with how open this game is. And now I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I'll be like, man, it'd be kind of weird to go back to Elden Ring after.
Yeah, just like we need these crazy mechanics in Elden Ring now.
Yeah.
Nick, any final thoughts on Zelda?
No, I hope everyone's having as much fun as we are.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wanna see all of your creations. So if you make anything crazy, tag us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well, we will see y'all. Maybe next week, maybe not, but definitely the week after, and we'll talk some more Zelda, and then whatever else happens in the good old gaming news. But hope everyone has a good week. Keep enjoying Zelda, and if you haven't played it yet, maybe if we convince you to get it, just do it. Just get it. Just get it.
Don't even think about
it's super
it.
fun.
Yeah,
it's definitely fun. All right, guys. Well, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye
bye. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.